let's see. There we go. So, the trailer, Season of the Chosen trailer is here. Haven't seen it yet. This is live. Let's go ahead, see what next season has got for us. The Hive God was driven back. Yes, he was. But her influence.
The darkness crowds the edges of this system. The Hive serves it. You'll fall to one, if not the other. I propose an alliance. With my army and your light, the Cabal will crush the Hive. Bow.
No. Empress Keitel has emerged as the new face of their empire and demanded I pledge loyalty to her.
This tank is like a living thing. She breathes, she moves, and she will spit out your bones. Sharpen my gilded knife and see you both on the battlefield. There's no light here.
Naturally. Okay. So let's see. There's a lot in there, but I feel like a lot. So first impressions are, as always, Bungie knows how to do a really good trailer. Like I've known that, and I've kind of desensitized myself to when Bungie puts out a trailer. Like I've learned to temper my expectations because Bungie knows marketing. If Bungie knows anything, they know marketing. They know music, and they know how to put a package together to really get you hyped on something. That, you cannot argue against that. They know how to do that. But it looks like a good part of all of this is happening on the Cosmodrome and is happening on Earth. So the Cosmodrome and the EDZ. I feel like a lot of that is happening there. I know that there's speculation that this is happening in the old tower. I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. This honestly, like, now that there's like different I'm gonna mute this while I talk over it. I have the feeling that this area is a Cabal ship. So like this dude, whoever this dude is, we're probably, or Zavala is probably like on his ship. And that's where all of this is going down, not the new tower, unfortunately. Even like in this shot, even I'm like with everything that's look, I think this is Zavala's office. I don't think that this is, again, the new tower, or the old tower, because the old tower, the Vanguard offices were downstairs, and there was like no window that like showed all of this. At least from my memory. I haven't played Destiny 1 in years. But yeah, we have shots. I'm not sure how I feel about this Cabal armor, this Cabal themed, um, this whole Cabal themed armor, especially the Warlock, because that's Titan, that's definitely Hunter. Warlock, why do we have balls just like on our shoulders, on our helmet? I'm not sure. Not sure how I feel about it. But yeah, so those were just a couple of things that I wanted to like go back on. Maybe this is the return of the menagerie. Maybe I'm not sure. But let's see exactly. That's cool. Let's see what they have to say for this. So the story is the new Empress with the pyramids and Xivu Arath destabilizing the system. Empress Keitel, leader of the Cabal and daughter of Palace, seeks an alliance, but when she demands more than Zavala can offer. Oh, that is Keitel. Okay. So, seeks an alliance, but when she demands more than Zavala can offer, negotiations collapse and Guardians must become the tip of the spear that strikes at her growing war council. Okay. Welcome to Helm. Okay, so this is probably what we saw. Designed as the ultimate Vanguard staging ground, the spaceport provides the resources Guardians need to face the most powerful of incursions. Here, the war table has been set. Meet with Zavala, acquire the Hammer of Proving, and orchestrate the honorable victory. So I'm pretty sure the Hammer of Proving is the seasonal artifact. Not sure, or maybe this is like a new addition to the tower. So maybe there'll be like a new space in the tower. So like maybe to like the left of the port where that whole building, the building that happens on the tower. Maybe that's what happens. Here, let's turn this on. There we go. Not sure where this is happening, or well, there's said this spaceport, so maybe it's a new loading zone. Not sure, but okay. And then we'll do. There we go. Activity Battlegrounds. The fallout from the failed treaty has resulted in Cabal forces taking up arms in multiple destinations. Prepared to defend the glory of the Empire. In this 3-man match-made activity, Guardians will engage in ritual combat against Keitel's chosen warriors. And this is fine. This is cool. Again, I just have a thing about the seasonal activity being match made. I've said this several times in previous ones. I guess this is okay because it sounds like it's in a different space. But I have a thing about it being a match made activity. And then I have a thing of, like the seasonal activity, being happening in the open. Especially when it's like, hey, there's this expectation that there's, like these activities need 9 people. And it's like, okay, and if we don't get 9 people, we can't pass this. We can't complete this. So, from the sounds of it, it sounds like it's not going to be out in the open, but it is going to be match made. So, we'll see. All right. Vanguard strikes. Devil's Lair. Find and destroy the single exalted servitor that sustains the fallen house of devils in the Cosmodrome. That's old fallen saber. Rush to the aid of the AI warmind Rasputin as he broadcasts a plea for help across the system. I'm very interested in all the strikes because definitely Proving Grounds is a new strike, so I'm interested in that. Devil's Lair, I'm kinda wanting to see how they revamped it. Because if it is that, the Fallen has figured out a way to, redo Sepix Prime yet again, that's interesting. But Fallen Saber, they can't, there has to be some sort of lore reason that Rasputin is back. Did Anna take the engram that she put him in at the before season of the before Beyond Light? Did she put the engram into the Cosmodrome? She inputted what happened between before Beyond Light and now that Fallen Saber is back online. So I'm very interested in more reasons to see what happened there. Exotic Quest Redacted. It's a weapon. I want to say it's a Tex Mechanica. Guess that's how you say. I want to say that with this, this whole bull kind of like look, but clearly they're not telling us what it is. So okay, mystery. That's fine. Tiku's Divination. This ancient recurve bow charges multiple solar arrows that can track several targets at once. We did rejuvenate our love for bows this season, so I actually am excited to see how this one works, and see what this one's all about. Maybe we have to figure out a new variation on Ariana's bow, as I like to call it, because since this is an exotic, we'll have to, figure that all out, but that's the fun of it. Power gathered, weapons and ornaments. I actually do like this. I like the look of this. A cache of new and reissued weapons to collect. Exotic, legendary, ritual, over 25 weapons added to the loot pool. So with this, we do know that 4 are being reissued for basically for the DLC. So we have 4 for Forsaken, and then 4 for what was the one after Forsaken? I can't for the life of remember me, but it's the one with the Garden of Salvation. Crap, what's the name of that expansion? Oh, that's embarrassing. But yeah, so it's that. And I figured they would do that because the way in the transition from the last season to Beyond Light, there was issue, at least for me that I can tell, it was like they didn't bring enough value to say, hey, get these 2 expansions, like we're doing this thing where it's like, hey, you only pay for the expansions, and then the season is just, our reason to give you to continue to play. But for the expansions, it really didn't feel like there really wasn't a reason of like, why should I pay for these, especially with the way that you're doing everything. There's no point of me running Garden of Salvation. There's no point in me running Last Wish. Like, those expansions were pointless. And so now with them reissuing it, it's saying, hey, now there's definitely a reason to get these expansions, because these weapons that you can only get in the activities when you buy that expansion, these weapons actually, actually carry on. And I feel like that's something we're going to see, like those pinnacle weapons. So like those 4 weapons from those 2 DLCs are going to continue to be carried over, or maybe they'll do something to where it's like, okay, we won't have you regrind like every expansion. We'll just make like those certain weapons, we'll make it so that those do actually carry over. But everything else, all those other seasonal weapons and everything, those will get sunset, those will get carried behind. So get used to that. We're hopefully it's that they will scale back sunsetting. They'll scale it back a bit to where there's certain weapons that will not get sunset that will carry over to the next expansion, and that's because they need to make sure that people actually feel that their money is worth buying the DLCs. But yeah, so over 25 weapons being added, that's great. And then Umbral Engrams. I'm gonna be honest, I love the Umbral Engram system, but towards the end, they need to scale back. I know some people will probably feel like, no, you're wrong. Nope, that's a horrible take. I feel like they need to scale back the amount of engrams that drop by implementing Umbral Engrams again. Because for Season of the Arrivals, when it came out, all I got, like, literally Umbral Engrams was just dropping. They were just dropping. And some of them weren't, like, the Umbral Engrams weren't, like, if it wasn't an Umbral Engram, it was like a regular engram that I can convert into an Umbral Engram. but eventually it just got to the point where my postmaster was just full of umbral engrams, and my thing was I wasn't grinding for a certain weapon. So once I got the weapons that I wanted, the weapons that I needed, there was just way too many umbral engrams, and I'm like, this is amazing if I actually had things to grind for, but I have everything. Can we stop with the umbral engrams? Like, make it a little, just a teeny bit, like, let's nerf that. Just a teeny bit. Nerf the drops of the umbral engrams so that when people earn it, it feels good. It's like, okay, great. Keeps me playing more, because at that point, it was just like, okay, I have everything that I need, and all you're dropping for me is umbral engrams. It's way too much. So that's the only thing I would say about umbral engrams. Otherwise, it's really good. I really hope that they, expand it just a little bit more with armor, because it just feels like the umbral engrams was really great for weapons, but for armor, it really didn't make sense, especially if you already had like a armor set that you were already really dedicated to and you really loved. So hopefully they made some changes there to where, umbral engrams, now benefit armor as well. So we were absolutely wrong. It is not the hammer that is the seasonal artifact. Bell of Conquest, used to celebrate the triumphs of the warrior who carries it. The Bell of Conquest increases your power every time it's upgraded. Unlock your new seasonal mods and customize your playstyle. Of course, that's naturally. All right. Yeah. Again, Warlock, I'm not happy about it. Like, I get if we want, I get like the little ball on top of the helmet. I get that's fine. I'm just not, the triangle's just not working for me. It's just not working for me, but that's okay. All right, so unlock the season pass, gear, XP rewards, get the season pass, and instantly unlock the new seasonal armor set and the new solar bow, Tika's divination. You also get an XP boost that speeds up your seasonal ranks and umbral engram unlocks. In which this is good because now that Bungie is getting rid of bounties, they're figuring out, I think, well, they're not completely getting rid of bounties. They're really reworking the bounty system. But I was reading before where it's like no bounties will carry over to the next season. So it's unfortunate that they weren't able to do this in time for when the raid launched, but at least it's something, but yeah, so that's the season pass. There's that. Okay, so basically season pass owners, we're getting the new exotic cosmetics, umbral engrams, triumphs and seals, guardian games. Ooh, hopefully they fix that. But guardian games, Iron Banner, Trials of Osiris, new artifact and mod, seasonal progress. Okay, second seasonal progress track with additional rewards at every level. Okay, exotic bow, Prefectus seasonal armor set, bonus seasonal XP, exotic weapon quest, exotic weapon catalyst quest, 1 week early access to Proving Ground Strike. Okay, additional exotic ship, complete suite of prismatic recaster focusing features. Okay. And then that's what the free people get. The free Destiny 2 players get. So they get an activity, they get the helm, they get the strikes. The season pass owners just get it a little bit early. They get the umbrals, they get the triumphs and seals, they get guardian games, all of that. So pretty standard stuff. And then Bungie rewards. No calendar yet. And then this is the media kit. Okay. So, I mean, overall, I'm pretty excited. Again, I'm gonna switch on over here now. My thing is, I don't, not saying that I'm not excited for the season. I am quite excited more so for the State of Destiny 2, the 2021 State of Destiny, only because I've always maintained this idea where it's like, stemming back from when Bungie separated from Activision, I will say that they did have a design in mind and what they wanted Destiny 2 to be like, free from any outside influences. They had an idea. It was just, unfortunately, they could not shut everything down so that they can implement that idea and then move forward with it. Right now, what we're experiencing in Destiny 2 is them implementing the idea of Destiny that they have. They just have to do that while maintaining the game, and that is very hard to do. I will give them that. That is very difficult to do, and that's why I feel like that's why we're not getting a lot of conversation about PvP. That's why we're not getting a lot of conversation about what the future vision is of Destiny, because it's going to take a while for us to get there. I'm thinking by the time we get to Witch Queen, the next DLC that hopefully launches in, I'm not even sure if they're still going on, like the September, that whole like fall expansion thing. Maybe, they're, they reset it to, what's happening right now, what they did for Beyond Light, like launch it in December. Maybe that's their new launch period. Maybe not. We'll see. But I feel like with Witch Queen, that's when we'll really start to see what Bungie has in store for Destiny 2. It's just really unfortunate that I feel like for this year, it's a lot of, we hear you, we understand, we are going to address that, and there's more in the future ahead. You just have to give us time, because we have to fix the game and make it what we wanted it to be, not what we thought it would be. But then Activision was like, maybe we change this up, maybe we change this up, or what are you going to do to address this, and what are you going to do that? They can't just pull all of that out and say, we didn't want that in the game anyway, we didn't want that in the game anyway. They can't do that when the game is live. They can't just shut down the servers and be like, hey, we're going to restructure Destiny 2. The game's going offline for a year, but we'll be back. That would be horrible. So that's kind of like my interpretation. I've been a fan for Destiny for, this is going on 7 years. I've been a fan of Destiny since then. I'm going to continue to play Destiny. I just have like a little bit of sympathy for what they're doing. And while it is frustrating, this is why I'm, finding the time to play a little bit of Destiny, here and there, play a little bit at a time, really, get the feel for it. And then, once it really starts coming to fruition, then I'll be able to spend more time into the game. But for right now, while I understand they're restructuring, building the game, I play a little bit here and there, play a little bit, sometimes, sometimes I'm playing a long time, sometimes I'm playing a little bit, sometimes I'm playing other games. But that's not to say that I've completely given up on Destiny. It's just, I understand that at this point, they don't really have a focus on, who the game is targeting. They're like, we're just trying to build the game that we want to build, and whoever latches, whoever stays on, that's, kind of the people that we want to continue to play. We want to, make sure that the new players who are playing are welcome, that there's a lot for them to do. We want to make sure that the returning players, that there's, we're respecting their time investments, and we're trying to make sure that, it's the game that they know and love. It's just, again, at this point, we just want to make the game that we want to make. And that's that. But yeah, so that's just my take on the next season. I'm super excited. I'm there. That by no means is like, they're not talking about this, or they're not talking about that, or well, what's going on with this? What's going on with that? What's going on is that they just gonna work on it until they can. That's it. That's just, what you have to sit with and be fine and be, satisfied with. Now, when it comes to like Witch Queen, and if there's like no big structural changes, if everything is still like on the set of, what's going on, then that's when I'm going to be like, all right, I've been patient. I've waited. What's going on?